I couldn't watch it till Monday night, and I would lie and say that was my schedule, but basically it was because I was putting my daughter to bed and making sure she was asleep, because episode 2 she had snuck over to the living room and made it to the doorway, heard a zombie either eating somebody or, preparing to eat somebody. But anyway, he was gurgling and she couldn't even make it to open the door. She just started freaking out. So that little intermission kind of, I had to lay her back down. Anyway, I was really making sure she didn't witness anything horrific this time. And I laid her down to bed, and I've been working third shift so much I actually fell asleep. So I watched it Monday night. So this is coming up a little bit late, but I figured it would give it time to settle in, the episode, because when I did end up watching it, I couldn't do a little bit of Let's Talk during it like I like to do during the commercials. It was already recorded, so I could pretty much just fast forward. Rick's decision, okay, to not make any calls for anybody else anymore, but it's making it for him and his family. Do you know what I'm saying? I really see that as plot, not a character development at all. The reason I'm seeing it as plot is because that's going to push the story, that's going to push the plot, that's going to push how things go, because the story's going to move based on his decisions. It's cause and effect. Whatever he does is going to affect the story. He got rid of Carol, spoiler alert. I shouldn't even have to say that. No one should have to say spoiler alert, but yeah, spoiler alert. He got rid of Carol, so yeah, that dramatically affects the plot and the story and what's going to happen. Daryl, I see him not being cool with it, but then the same strength, I see him kind of understanding. You know what I'm saying? Let's say, for the sake of argument, season 1, you see Rick doing things for the group, for the whole, for like the greater good of everybody. And in the comic, I hate to keep going back to the comic, but yeah, what the hell, it's fun. You see Rick making a lot of decisions that isn't for the greater good. It's basically, in his eyes, what's for the best of him and his family. You know what I mean? The greater good of the whole group it just didn't work out. It was too much weight. It was too many decisions. There was too many variables. There was too much that can go wrong. There was, you know what I mean? You can't save everybody at the end of the day. That's what I mean about plot. And that could affect the plot, because if you have this group of people and you have somebody who everyone's looking at as the leader, and he's going to start from now on looking at what is the greater good for just him, just his kids, that is going to affect the plot. I feel. Anyway. So anyway, let's look at the group that went off, that got Michonne in it. Bob Stuckey, Daryl, and Tyrese. I just want to briefly say that scene with Tyrese not letting go of the zombie or whatever in that wall of grass, the overgrown vines or whatever. I really like the zombies coming out. Definitely cool visually. I don't think that what Tyrese was going through, it just didn't. Not the actor's fault, it's just the way it was filmed. It's not even the director's fault either. It didn't portray, it didn't, what's the word I'm looking for? It didn't come across the right way, I don't think. I was kind of like, what the fuck is he doing? You know what I mean? Like, was he holding up? You just didn't see it. I didn't anyway. I was just like, Michonne is like, let go, and what the fuck is he holding on to? The vines, the door, the hammer, the machete, the zombie. It just didn't, I don't know, it didn't transfer well for me. That whole thing put me off. Anyway, besides that, we see Bob Stuckey, who should be dead after that bullshit. I mean, Anyway, you see Bob Stuckey, who, it was supposed to be medicine in his bag, and it ended up not being medicine, it was booze. Now, no one died, and Daryl took the booze, and it looked like Daryl was going to throw it. He probably was going to throw it, and Bob, went for his gun. He went for his piece. Like, if you throw it, I'm going to shoot you before you throw that. I'm taking my booze. And Daryl got right up in his face, like a bulldog, and, I mean, that was awesome. He should have just pushed his ass off. I mean, I hope Bob redeems himself later on, but Daryl should have just pushed his ass off. Would have been better off for it. I mean, to pull your gun on somebody just over a bottle of booze, I mean, I know it's the end of the world and all that, but you need to get your alcoholism in check. I mean, shit. What else was there? Oh, the main thing I wanted to discuss that I thought was fucking awesome, that really added a lot of tension to the Walking Dead universe, is the fact that there's zombies that Michonne can't just run up and, you know, hack away, and Tyrese can't just run over and bash their heads in with a hammer. There's zombies that are infected, and you've seen that, and I really like that they showed that, because they got caught in that one room, and they had the zombies coming in the door. They got zombies in the door that they're going to try to escape out of. And the one Bob Stuckey was like, no, you can't go. You can't just plow through those zombies, chop them up, bash their heads in. Because you get that on you, you're infected, you're done. You're going to be, you know what I mean, you're going to be in bad shape in a few 12 hours. You're done, you know what I mean? So I enjoyed that. I thought it added a lot of tension, and it was something new. And it's like, these are zombies where even though you can kill them, you need to just run away. The main focus of my attention, though, dramatically, and that I love, the main focus of my attention in this episode was on Rick. And at first, I thought he brought Carol with him on this journey to look for medicine in a neighboring, neighborhood. The reason I thought he brought her was because this is a common Rick thing to do. If he can't trust somebody, he doesn't leave them with the loved ones. He brings them with him so he can keep his eye on them. That's something he does with people he can't trust. I thought he was just doing that. He was just bringing Carol to keep an eye on her and not leaving her back at camp because, the prison, you never know what that crazy bitch could do. It took a while, closer to the end, with that whole scene between the other two kids who just shitty acting, but he was like testing her to see if, in the first episode this season where he was talking to that girl and he had those questions to ask, well, it was kind of as if Rick wanted to ask those same very questions to Carol, but in a different way. You know what I mean? Because she knows the questions. She's a part of this. She knows what to ask somebody to bring them back to the prison to see if they're, touched or not. And he's doing it in a way where he doesn't have to come right out and say it, but he does. He knows. He lets it fester on her. She starts, you know what I mean? Why haven't you said anything? This, that, and the third. So he's really putting her to the test to see if she's remorseful, to see why she did it. And I'm glad they showed in the flashback of her doing it, and Rick was replaying it in his head, just getting a good visual about how horrific that is. You have someone who's sick in bed, they need help, they need Herschel would come over there and do everything he can to help bring the temperature down, to help help keep the symptoms from killing these people, maybe ease their agony a little bit. That's what Herschel would do. That's compassion. She just took a knife and stuck it in the back of her head. You know what I mean? Found a soft spot, and that's it. You know what I mean? There's no compassion in that. And we understand she was trying to keep the virus from spreading. Yeah, I get that, but it didn't have to go down that way. Anyway, so I felt like he was really testing her this whole time. And when she walked up, when they were getting ready to go, she walked up and she yanked on that car door and the door was locked, it clicked. I knew it. As soon as I knew he was exiling that bitch right there. He wasn't waiting till they got back. And part of me was thinking that he did her right too. He did right by her because Tyrese is gonna bash her fucking head in. Tyrese is going to bash her head in. He is going to kill her. Done. You know what I mean? And so yeah, Rick did save her life in that respect, in that regard, and maybe he didn't have to say anything, but Tyrese isn't going to come back from that trip and just forget about it. You know what I mean? He's not going to, get all lovey-dovey with Michonne and then forget about that other chick. Like, he's still hurt, pissed. You know what I mean? He's gonna scour the earth for the killer. So, without beating a dead horse on that, he did save her life from Tyrese. But he did throw her out there. I mean, I'm sure he gave her some fuel, some supplies, some whatever. It looked like he brought some things and loaded up a car with her. So he knew when he was coming out here what he was going to do. And he tried to fish around for reasons not to do what it felt like. But at the end of the day, he said his piece. He said, council is not going to want you there. These people are not going to want you there. They're laying sick in bed and you stuck a knife in the back of their neck up into the brain. They're not going to want you there, and I don't want you there. I don't want you around my kids, my family. If he's the last person on earth, he pretty much said, him and his kids, he does not want her by his side. He doesn't know her, he doesn't trust her. She has changed, she has transformed into a different form of monster, and he's not having it. You know what I mean? What else was that? Yeah, so even though I was like, that's what's going to happen. He's definitely, even though you knew he was exiling her, through their little convo at the end, you just kind of wonder, like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? For that character, for that story. Obviously, it's not going to be it for that character, but where's she going to go? Where's the story going to go for this? Like, that opens up whole new possibilities. So that's... And what's Daryl's reaction? Comment below. Let's end this now. Comment below. Let me know, how do you think Daryl's going to react to this? And was Rick right or wrong? Let's just keep it simple. What do you think Daryl's going to say? Or how do you think he's going to react? And was Rick right or wrong for exiling Carol? And was that his call? I'm not going to get too complicated, but that's pretty much it. Comment below and let's kick some ideas back and forth and see where it goes from here. Sorry if this review was a little bit touch and go. My camera gave me nothing but problems this whole time. It took me 3 hours, it felt like, to record this. It took me forever. Damn it. It took me forever to record this. The camera's just not working. The stand is just falling down. My memory card keeps shutting off. I don't know what's going on. It's late, tired. I got work in a few hours. I have everything working against me here. But thanks again. Again, if you're subscribing, and if you're subscribing because of the Walking Dead reviews and you want to get more interactive, comment below. Let's kick this off. Let me know that you're subscribing. And while you're here, check out the Dumpster Dive videos. Some of that stuff will blow your mind. Thanks a lot, and I can't wait to see you guys can't wait to see what the comment. Can't wait to see I can't wait to read some of the comments. So please comment below. I'm not even going to ask you to hit the like button or subscribe or all that. If you want to, if you like it, hit like. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. But only do it if you want to. And please, though, comment below and let's get a little chit chat going with this. All right, guys, thank you very much.